Now we've constructed a very precise map of the melody of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star using chromatic intervals. So these are going to tell us not just what the distance between notes is in letter names, but also in half steps. So now let's go back to the transposition that we wrote of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, starting on F, and see where we went wrong. And let me erase the adjustments that we made here, just so we can start fresh. Okay, so the first interval we need in the melody is a perfect fifth up. In our original, that was C to G. In our transposition, F to C. Now, is F to C, is that actually a perfect fifth? Let's investigate. We know that it's a fifth. F1, G2, A3, B4, C5. But is it a perfect fifth? So we need to know that a perfect fifth has 7 half steps, so let's investigate. F0, F sharp 1, G2, G sharp 3, A4, A sharp 5, B6, C7. Yes, so we have a perfect fifth up. Okay, next interval we need is a major second up. Do we have a major second up going from C to D? Well, we know that's the interval of second because we're going C1, D2. But let's investigate the half steps. C to C sharp is 1, C sharp to D is 2. So yes, a major second. A second with 2 half steps. So far, so good. Now from D down to C, what do we need? We need a major second going down. Is that what we have? Let's investigate. We know that we have a second because we're going D1 down to C2. And how many half steps do we have? D0, D flat 1, C2. So we have a second with 2 half steps. That is in fact a major second. Next, we need another major second down. Is that what we have? Well, we know we have a second because we're going from C1 to to B2. So we're going through 2 letter names. How many half steps do we have? We have C0, B1, and then we're there. So we have a second that only has 1 half step, which means what we actually have is a minor second. What did we need? We needed a major second, a second with 2 half steps. So how are we going to make that happen? Well, I guess we have 2 options because we want to bring these 2 notes 1 half step further apart. We could raise the C up to a C sharp. And then we would have C sharp to B, and that is in fact a major second. But if we did that, look at what happens. We have just gotten rid of the major second that we had from D going down to C. That is now a minor second. And this is pretty intuitive. If we just listen to what we've created, if we add that C sharp in there, if we just listen, our ears will tell us immediately that this is not right. So let's get rid of that C sharp. And what's our other alternative? Well, let's bring that B down to a B flat. Like that. Then we have C0, B1, B flat 2. Then we have our major second down. And notice, that is exactly the adjustment that our ear told us to make back when we tried to fix this with our ear. Our ear knew what the answer was, but now we're giving it a very, very precise label, and we're giving ourselves a very precise way to talk about it. So let's just finish out the rest of this melody. Just check ourselves and make sure everything is as we think it should be. Okay, next we need a minor second down. Remember, a minor second is a second that only has 1 half step. So we go from B flat to A, B to A, that's 1, 2, that is a second. Is that a second with 1 half step or 2? B flat 0, A1. That is a second with 1 half step, so that is a minor second. So far so good. Then we need another major second down. A to G. That is a second, A1, G2. And it is a major second because A0, A flat 1, G2. We have 2 half steps. And then finally, we finish off with another major second, or we need another major second. Let's check ourselves and make sure that's what we've got. G to F is a second, G1, F2. Then when we're counting half steps, we want to count 2 half steps for a major second. Is that what we've got? G0, G flat 1, F2. And there it is. Now our chromatic intervals for our transposition on F match our chromatic intervals for the original. And notice that gives us exactly, precisely, the melody that we started with on C. Now starting on F. Now we're going to come back in an upcoming series of videos and look at transposition in a lot more detail, because there's a lot more to talk about and a lot more to do. But I just wanted to give you this little hint of one of the really cool and practical things that you can do using chromatic intervals. In the next series of videos, we're going to learn yet another interesting and practical thing that you can do with chromatic intervals. And in fact, we're going to use some of the techniques that we just learned here, and we're going to learn how to build major scales. But major scales that don't just start on C, that can start on any note of the piano keyboard.